square root of 81?
Jesus, I don't know.
What's the capital of Belgium?
Oh, God.
What's in water?
I don't know.
Bitch, you're getting your GED. You're getting your GED.
Oh, God, I got my high school diploma, for Christ's sake, but if you want me to get my GED, I'll go back. Just stop fucking beating on me. Holy fuck.
Well, you didn't tell me any of the answers I wanted to know.
Oh, my God. Holy shit. God, I hope you're not ever a night school fucking teacher. Holy shit.
I think I'm in a substitute night school. I think I'd be very good. I'd give him some discipline.
Holy crap. My God, man, I can't answer up his questions. I think I got learning herpes or something. Holy shit.
Got the learning herpes.
I got learning herpes. Oh my God. Guys, welcome everybody to a brand new movie review where we talk about night school. And boy, talk about getting your ass kicked. Boy, jeez. That's certainly what Kevin Hart was doing in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You know, I saw the trailer for the movie. I wasn't too high on it, but you definitely wanted to see it.
I definitely did want to see this.
So I was like, okay, fine, we'll check it out. Where do you want to start with night school, sir?
Well, I think it was an original idea. That's what I liked about it. Basically, this guy, you know, he was living a lie his whole life. You know, he was lying to his girlfriend, lying how much money he had the fancy car, had a good paying job, and then it all went to shit. Basically, as you see in the movie, the place he's working, this was in the trailer, blows up because of him. He gets into the car, gets damaged. And his friend, who's kind of his informal financial advisor, says, look, I can get you a job at my company. You have the skills, but you need a GED. You're a high school dropout. And he says, but I know you hate school. But he says, you know what, I'm going to do it. At first, he tries to, you know, bribe the teacher, bribe the principal. And he tries to really manipulate his way. It doesn't work. He realizes he has to go through it like everybody else. He makes some good friends. There's some interesting characters in this movie. I like the people in this movie. And it basically shows the trials and tribulations of what he has to do in night school. Basically, it shows the kickboxing where it basically says in the movie he has several different learning disabilities. He's like a soup of learning disabilities. And he basically has to go through basically tough education, redo his neurons as his teacher Haddish says, the actress named Tiffany Haddish. Basically, we have to reprogram you, and it shows that, and it shows what he's going through to get this, you know, pass night school, pass his GED. I mean, the movie for me, I thought the first half was very slow, maybe the first quarter, I would say. It did have some funny parts here and there. I think the movie was trying to be too hard to be funny. I think it was, there were certain scenes which felt very forced to me, very forced to be funny. Kevin Hart's normally very funny. If you see him in his stand-up tours, he has no problem making people laugh. I thought this was very forced. I didn't laugh like I did at a lot of movies. When Kevin Hart and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson was in Jumanji, I thought the movie was brilliant. I laughed like crazy. I loved it. This movie just felt very, you know, there wasn't a lot of laughter in the movie theaters. As I said, the first probably half hour, 40 minutes were very slow. This is the type of movie I think if you were watching Netflix and put it on, or watching something and it was on cable, you'd probably turn it off after 10, 20 minutes saying, okay, this is too slow for me. So it's a movie you really got to get into. It does have some funny parts. It really does. There are some funny parts. And for me, I thought the acting, I don't know what Seth's going to say. I thought the acting was very good. I thought there was a lot of chemistry between the people. Go ahead.
Wow, that was a mouthful, man. Woo!
I had to get it all out there.
You did. I mean, boy. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a Kevin Hart fan. I'm just not. Not to say that Kevin Hart's a bad actor, but I just don't find him funny. I don't find his stand-up funny, and I feel like he's that guy that's trying to be very loud and outrageous and annoying. And
would you compare him to Chris Rock?
No, because I think Chris Rock actually ends up being, I think his comedy is a little more thought out.
Oh, okay.
I think, yes, sometimes the sometimes the movies are not that way, but I think he does. I think Chris Rock has done better movies than Kevin Hart has. That's what I think. What did I think of him in this movie? Kevin Hart, man, it's just, again, loud and obnoxious, and just there's a couple moments in the movie where he's very genuine, and I like that. And then it goes from genuine right back to annoying and obnoxious. And I'm like, dude, you could have done something really cool. And with this, and you just ended up going the same old shtick comedy route. It didn't quite work to me. Tiffany Haddish, on the other hand, now I saw her in Uncle Drew, that basketball movie.
Didn't see the movie.
She has a very small part in it. She was fine. I liked her in it. Here she plays more of a bigger role, so I was more wanting to see what she would do with this. Again, I liked her better than Kevin Hart, but I will say this much, that I feel like there are moments where she is loud and obnoxious as well, and I did not like those the moments, because I felt like, okay, hold on a second, you have some really great moments where she's this substitute. I was gonna say substitute teacher. She's not a substitute teacher. She's actually different. She's just a regular teacher and doing the night school stuff, and she's trying to get him to learn and trying to do stuff, and she has genuinely funny moments where she's trying to do that, but there's that moments where she's being overly, like, you know, loud and annoying, and that's the moments that turn me off to it. The other people in the cast thought they did a good job. I thought there was a lot of chemistry between them, but again, it wasn't that funny. And that's where it sort of comes down to it, because a comedy, the biggest sin a comedy can have is that it's just not funny.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest sin also is forced comedy, where you're trying to force people to laugh and you're trying to force something to be funny, and if it just ain't funny, if it just doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you can't make it work.
And that's really the thing about it, because you and I have seen good comedy this year, like Game Night.
Game Night was wonderful.
Game Night was great, and we've seen a lot of real and comedies this year have definitely been making a comeback.
And Jumanji was a great movie.
Jumanji was a great one. Last year was great. I mean, and that one had Kevin Hart in it, and that was good. I mean, I feel like, again, it's a cool idea of a movie, but it felt very generic in the way they were doing it, and you know, it's one of those things where you're right. The chemistry was there. There was some cool chemistry to be had, but it just didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, and that's the unfortunate thing about it. You know what I mean? I mean, again, there was cool ideas in it, but also there were moments in there where I just thought it was stupidity for stupidity's sake. Like, you know, again, when the barbecue joint blows up, it's in the trailer, we're not spoiling it, that he sort of gets thrown into the car. And I'm thinking, like, my God, man, first of all, he would have third-degree burns all over him. He would have third-degree burns all over him. He would basically, his back, done.
Absolutely.
His back would be completely done.
He'd be dead.
He'd be dead. He would be dead. And I was...
There's another scene that was far-fetched. And I this is a spoiler. I'm just warning you. There's a part... Oh, can't think of his name. He jumps off a building.
Rob Riggle.
He jumps off a building, catches the building. Now, most movies, he catches the building, climbs up. No, he actually fell down.
And he just didn't fall down just falling down generally. He fell down...
He fell on cement, on his face. Now, number one, I don't care if it's a 1-story, 2-story, he'd be dead, or he'd have a concussion or brain damage. They also showed him breaking a body part. Yet he was in night school the next day, next week. He was fine. No broken bones, no nothing. Now, most people would be in the hospital for weeks or months, and they'd have a broken up face, stitches, plastic surgery. And that's the thing. This was almost, you know what this reminded me of? Cartoonish.
Yes, and
it felt very cartoonish to me.
And that's the problem, right? Because if you look at a movie like Game Night has some cartoonish moments in it. But when somebody gets shot, when somebody gets run over something, that sticks. They're not playing it as, oh, this person is just going to get right up and be fine like a Looney Tunes character.
And that's the problem I felt with this movie. It was very cartoonish, like, oh, you could get hurt and you could be fine. You could fall off a building. You can get blown out of your place of work and be fine and walk and everything's okay. And it's like, that doesn't happen. It's too much of a cartoon.
It's too much of a cartoon. And another thing that had really gotten to me to a certain extent with this movie is that if you really think about it for a second, like, they're all going for their GED, right? So they do that, and they're all saying, boy, I'm gonna get the GED and I'm gonna be a dental hygienist, I'm gonna be a manager and everything. It's not that simple.
No, it isn't.
No.
I mean, usually when you get a GED, it's because you want to enter the workforce. There's only one legitimate person who says, I can enter the workforce. It's the only reason she was getting it, she wanted to enter the workforce.
Yeah.
Because this day and age, any type of job you get, you need a high school diploma or a GED. Most jobs out there, you need some type of education to keep the job or get the job. So that I understand. But some of these people that had far-fetched dreams, one's like, oh, I'm going to go to college. Well, she's got like a 4-year school. No, you'll go to a community college, but you're not going to go to a 4-year school. You're not going to be a dental hygienist. You're not going to become a manager. You're not going to get these. I mean, they're doing it like, and they show this class. Most night school students, they don't talk to each other. They don't associate. They want nothing to do. My sister got a GED, and she hated the people in her class. She was just there to study, get her GED, pass the test, and that's it. It's just,
It's just, and again, like, and there were other moments in the film where it felt off. Like, there's a moment where and it's in the trailer too a little bit, I won't spoil it too much, but they're trying to maybe cheat on a test. And they're going to try to steal the test. And one of the night school students, she ends up basically distracting the principal by doing this weird stuff with
it was not funny.
It was not funny.
That was one of the forced moments.
It felt forced, like she's doing stuff with her ass and like, like,
it was not funny.
Cracking it like a walnut.
And at the beginning, I knew it was this movie was going to be forced because there's a scene at a restaurant where he's giving him his friends giving him cues, and it's kind of very disgusting. I thought it was inappropriate for the movie. There was a scene, if you see the movie, where they're trying to get it out of a check at the restaurant, and I just thought it was disgusting, inappropriate, in foul taste, and it was terrible. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even. It made the movie less funny. It was like, oh my god, what type of movie am I watching?
That's terrible.
It wasn't funny.
And and also there's a lot of convenience factor in this movie too. Okay, so basically the principal is the same guy that he ended up, going to school with back in the day. Of course, the waiter where the incident happened in the restaurant just happens to be the person at the night school. And of course the woman that he chewed out on the road just happens to be
the night school teacher. There's too much, as I said, there's too much convenience in this movie.
Too much convenience, way too much like forced comedy here. I'm not saying that this couldn't have been a good movie. I think it really could have been a really solid, funny movie. But for some reason, man, I just feel like they were going for the cheap laughs, and I felt like they were, in some ways, even trying too hard. And that was because there's a moment with even like the principal where it's in the trailer, where the trailer is like, this is my house.
Yeah, he was trying to be too ghetto.
Too ghetto. It was feeling like really. It was just all over the place. It really had no sort of coherence to anything. I mean, it has a good message at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I thought the message was good, but you know what this movie lacked, and this is the perfect word, fluidity.
Okay, sure, yeah.
It didn't have the fluidity that, you know how they say a movie has to run like water. When you run water from a faucet, you don't want it to go from little sprinkles to a waterfall to little sprinkles. You want fluidity. You want a nice, steady flow. And certain movies, like Jumanji, had a steady flow as a comedy. Game Night had a steady flow. Other like Sister Act I saw in the past, steady flow. A lot of movies you want, Robin Williams movies have a lot of steady flow.
Yeah.
This movie, it felt like sometimes they were like rushing that water flow, and then other times it was like coming out in sprinkles. There's times it was really funny, and other times it's like you wanted to fall asleep.
It really honestly was. And there is something else in the movie you wanted to talk about for a moment, and I know you did. So at the end of the movie, of course, they take the test to get their GED.
Well, I didn't want to talk about that because that would spoil it.
Well, yeah, but I guess to just say the fact that it's unrealistic what happens.
It's very unrealistic. And my sister, who was personally, I said, took a GED. What happened at the end of the movie could not happen in real life. They show it in settings that it took place over like a 2-3 week period. What happened in the end of the movie would have took about 6 months to a year for him to accomplish what he did. It wouldn't have happened within 2 weeks.
No, and again, it just, like I said, things like them, even
that's the cartoonish.
That's the cartoonish, or even stuff at like the prom. Stuff like that.
They would have never let people that age, unless there was chaperones, in at the prom.
Absolutely. It just, again, there's just so much stuff here. Convenience factors, forced comedy, not all that great. But, yeah, what are your final thoughts and grade rating on Night School, sir?
I thought the setting was good. You know, the fact that it was Night School, I thought the setting, it was done at a school, it was done properly, I thought it was good. I thought there was some good comedic moments, so I did like that. I thought the chemistry was pretty good between the acting. I thought the acting was very good. But because there was not a lot of fluidity in the movie, and because it did feel like forced comedy, I'd have to say this is probably a C-, maybe even a D movie. One of the lowest grade ratings I'm going to give since we've been doing movie reviews. Probably a D or C-. This is definitely, and I hate to say this, not really a movie worth going to see in the movie theaters. This is something I would say, go see on Netflix when it comes out. Go rent it maybe at Family Video. Go maybe rent it from Redbox, but not something really worth going to the movies. It's not that spectacular. I wouldn't waste the money on a movie ticket.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's one other moment I wanted to talk about. It just popped in my head. With the principal, for some unknown fucking reason, and I guess I get it because there's a poster of it in his office of Lean On Me, and he's got a bat, and he is like just hitting things with that bat and abusing things, and I'm like, how in the world does this guy get away with this?
Yeah.
How in the world does he get away with just shoving a bat in people's faces and just hitting lockers with it and terrorizing the students? How the fuck does he get away with that? I'm like, my God, that guy would be fired in a hot minute.
The cartoonish factor.
Again, cartoonish factor. It just, like I said, the cartoonish factor to it, the comedy that feels, whether it's out of place or whether it's just, you feel like it's coming out of nowhere and it has no rest of any consequence to the plot. Again, Kevin Hart's a decent actor, but this is not the movie for him. I think Tiffany Haddish comes out of this pretty good. The genuine moments that she has, the chemistry is not bad, but overall, I think as far as comedies this year, this one is one of the weaker ones, and definitely lower on the grade scale than a lot of the other good ones that have come out. For me, this is going to be probably a high D-.
Oh, wow.
And that's being nice, generous. It's, yeah, not really all that great. I may have learning herpes, but it ain't nothing compared to Kevin Hart. Okay, let me just tell you guys that right now. All right, well, I guess that does it. You know, I guess we could go to night school, but, you know.
We both got our degrees.
We got our degrees. We don't need to get tortured, you know. No, we're all good. Yep. We're all good. Guys, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you guys think of the movie, and we will be back next time for another movie review. With less getting my ass kicked, because my God, you are brutal.
You still didn't tell me the square root of 81.
Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. Expect an answer next time. Look it up.
What happens next time?
You'll have to wait and see.
Help me, guys. Help me. See you later.